And welcome in to another edition of the Joystick Club. I'm your host, MC Priest, aka Taylor Jacobs. Mixed it up. And we're mixing it up here too because there's a video edition going on. So you might be able to
Yeah,
see my main man, Chappie.
you might if you've chosen to look at me.
Yeah. You probably wouldn't if you had the option. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
So,
I have terrible facial
and I,
hair. It's not
no.
great. It doesn't look
And I
good.
do this every day. I look at you every day. So, or most of the
Ha!
time.
I was gonna say that's false unless you have something weird going on that I'm not aware
I
of.
mean, maybe it's some burner accounts that you're not aware of. It's hot in the news right now, but what
That's
else?
hot.
What else is hot is the Overwatch League. After this week, we're
Always hot.
halfway through stage 4, so it's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And we'll start with our preview like we do every week. Chappie, what are you looking forward to later today?
It's a very clear and present winner for me on today. I'm looking forward to the battle for LA. I think I've been looking forward to every battle for LA since the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to a dominating performance from the Valiant this evening. I don't really know that that's a prediction so much as my wish, but you know what? Hell, it's a prediction. The Valiant's gonna take it 3-1 tonight.
Okay.
I'm going a full prediction.
Wow.
I think that both these squads have proven that they are a team to watch, and when they play each other in front of each of their home crowd, their true home crowd, I think it's proven to be like a good matchup in general historically, and I think it will continue to be one as long as they let LA continue to have two teams. Which I don't see changing anytime soon. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good tank battle, as always. And yeah, let's do this. Valiant, gonna take it.
Yeah, up 2-1 in the series so far in the season. So, uh,
Yeah,
we could either see a 2-2 tie going into the playoffs, potentially with both of the teams making the playoffs, or none,
right.
maybe none. Who knows? Or maybe just one. Sorry, not none, but maybe just one. Um,
Not none.
and for me, I'm going to be looking at Seoul versus Shanghai. I know Shanghai probably not quite the quality team as Seoul, and most likely will lose this matchup. But I think
Hmm.
this is the one where we're going to see them really start to push Seoul and maybe start to show
Yeah,
some people what this team can actually do. I'm hoping that they can actually figure it out before the end of the year and they're not a complete embarrassment and maybe win one match. But that's
maybe.
getting a little bit ahead of myself, so I don't want to get too far ahead. Who knows? But Gaguri and Shanghai, tough matchup against Seoul today, so hopefully they can win a map, maybe even two, push it to that five mapper. I'd love to see something like that. Most likely not going to happen.
Has Shanghai even taken it to a five map yet?
I don't. I
I
don't.
feel like there's might be one
I don't think
time.
so. I think they've only won one map most in any of their
Yeah,
matchups.
yeah, okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. So today, a little bit different style. We're kind of looking for some other thing other than the Battle for LA, which is obviously the marquee matchup, maybe of the week, just because
Yeah,
so much is on the line for both teams right now, especially the Gladiators. So we'll see what happens later today. But what are you looking forward to tomorrow, Thursday, May 31st? Oh my gosh, we're blowing through the month.
I know, man. May 31st. I think that San Francisco versus Dallas is going to be one to look for here.
Yep.
I'm very curious to see if we get to see a little bit more of our boy Baby Bay.
Mm.
I also think that this is just like kind of a good matchup on paper, but from two of some of the quote unquote bottom tier teams, um, it's going to be. And plus, let's be honest. I think that the addition of Krusty on San Francisco has provided with us with a lot more of a reason to watch San Francisco Shock
Yep.
play, and Dallas is still kind of fighting to be like the best of the worst, and they've come a long way since. I mean, when did they kind of start getting better? What was it at
Dallas.
all in stage three? Yeah, I almost want to say
They
that it
started to
was
look a little
just
bit better towards I'd say week
end
five.
of stage three, but
Yeah,
really stage four is where they started
when the meta changed.
looking. Yeah, okay. So I always enjoy watching Mickey play. He's just the coolest dude.
Yep.
And so let's have some kick-ass Brigitte play from Mickey and kind of see what San Francisco's coaching does for them. And hopefully we see a little bit more Baby Bay, like I said.
Yeah,
Sinatra is always fun to watch, obviously, but I don't think he needs any more praise from me
no,
or anyone really.
and a lot on the line again for these two teams.
Yeah.
Just hovering in that middle tier. San Francisco Shock probably not going to make the playoffs, but for them, still a lot of pride.
No.
Could maybe make the stage playoffs, so that's still
Hmm.
on the line. So keep an eye out on the Shock. It's not like they're not playing for anything, and especially these guys,
Right.
they are really prideful. So you're going to see Sinatra and Super and guys like Baby Bay and Sleepy. You know what I mean? Like they're all going to be out
Right.
there. So for me, I'm going to be looking at London versus Boston. We talked about it on Sunday or Monday rather. With Griffin Bennett about Boston and just how this team has slipped into some sort of realm of disaster. And
Yeah.
London in second place now, but really had some lulls in the season. And what is this team going to look like heading to the end of the season, to the home stretch as the playoffs near each week? So for Boston, I mean, they have no time to waste. They need to get back in the win column. They need to beat good teams like London and San Fran this week, who have depth and they can challenge them. So they're really going to have to step up and win and have a big week, because if not, they could be on the outside looking in for playoffs.
Hmm.
So a lot of those teams all stuck in that one little area. So a little bit of congestion in the middle, and I think that's what's going to make the next 3 weeks of Stage 5 really, really exciting. So, yeah, really looking forward to that. And on Friday, what are you looking forward to, my man?
Houston Outlaws, Shanghai
Yep.
Dragons. Houston is one of those teams that has shown glimmers of hope, but continues to just sort of fall a little bit short, fall a little bit flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to see if they might give Shanghai sort of a chance, a window of opportunity to, like you said, maybe take it to 5. I think it's much more likely to happen versus Houston than it is to happen versus Seoul. But Seoul has also shown that they can be abysmal
Yeah.
as well. So I think that there's 2 opportunities here, and Friday is the one where, in reality, they have a legitimate chance to take more than just one map.
Yeah, no. And look, it's just like we were just saying a minute ago. Every match is so important, especially for the teams at the bottom. And look, Houston's got to figure it out, and Shanghai's hoping to just not be an embarrassment and win a match. And Houston has looked beatable. So if there is a
Yeah.
winnable one this week, it might be this one on Friday between the Outlaws and the Dragons. So for me, though, sticking with Boston, trying to prove it. And then again, San Fran, we talked about them just a second ago. And how impressive they've been looking this stage, how they've been able to adjust to the new meta, and
Hmm.
just how they do have this new depth. Baby Bay, this
Right.
almost super sub coming off the bench. So it's fantastic to have a guy like that that can come in, give your guys a breather, and you're not going to worry about a step down in the quality of your team. You're actually going to be
Right.
equal, if not able to do a little bit of different stuff. So really cool
Hmm.
that San Fran's going to have that opportunity to do that. So good looks on them. And moving on to the last day of the week, bring us home, Chappie. What are you looking forward to on Saturday?
Saturday should come with as no surprise. It's LA Valiant versus New York Excelsior. I really want to see, as with most of the world, probably wants to see if what LA is really made of
Yeah.
in this final stage, and just in general, pushing towards making the stage 4 playoffs, as well as making sort of the playoffs for the first season of Overwatch League. And this is their chance to do it,
Yep.
whether that is taking 2 maps and pushing it to 5, or outright getting a win against the quote unquote unbeatable New York Excelsior. I don't think that I am predicting an outright win, but I think that I'm predicting at least a couple of tough goes at it for the New York Excelsior trying to take down LA in this stage. So I'm really hoping for some big performances on an individual scale, and I really am. I'm kind of hoping we see a few examples of why LA's coaching has continued to prove that they are one of the better coaching staffs in the league this season. Actively switching to different compositions when they need to.
Yep.
And, the New York Excelsior have such a depth. We talked about this last episode, where they have such a depth with their strategies and their hero pools and their picks. And I think that LA is one of the teams that deserves an honorable mention there. So it's going to be interesting to see sort of these 2 strategic mastermind teams battle it out. Go for it.
Yeah, no, and Look, New York is looking pretty unbeatable, but LA, again, they have that roster. They have on paper the talent to go
Yep.
up and challenge a team like the NYXL. Can they do it? Obviously, to be determined. Obviously, watch Saturday yourself to see what it looks like in person. But the Valiant really figuring things out as we head towards the end of the season, and a big week for them. The Gladiators and NYXL, not some easy opponents. I know they've been prepping hard for this week, so we will be watching on Saturday as a big
Yep.
day of Overwatch League. As you also will have London versus Dallas on Saturday
Right.
as well, which is a big one. Dallas needing all these wins to try and get into that stage playoffs. Again, most likely out of the playoff in the. I think they're actually almost out of the playoff in the for the overall season. But for Dallas, look, they're starting to figure things out. Effect not playing, but they're using a 6-man roster. Pardon me, to essentially run things and get back on track. And you got guys like Siegel playing Diva right now, and he's playing really well. And she's able to kind of mold into whatever meta we're in.
Hmm.
And so it's really impressive to see Siegel on those characters like Diva and Farah, that
Yeah.
he's able to really change the tides for a team like Dallas. And then you mentioned it before, Mickey is just he's such an easy person to root for and such a fun personality that it's very magnetic. And he is one of those faces of the league. Going forward, I think Blizzard will invest in him as one of the images, because I think that
Yeah.
smile and his attitude, and even though the team has struggled, the way he's been able to just stay positive, I think is massive, especially for the
Hmm.
sport that's so young. So we'll see what happens to them going forward. So make sure you're watching on Saturday and the rest of the days this week in the Overwatch League. Great week 3, and again, we'll be midway through stage 4 after this week. So when we talk again, we'll be halfway through, looking at the back half of stage 4. But Chappie, you were putting some notes down on here on our Google Doc, and you wanted to talk about sportsmanship in the Overwatch League. So I'll give you the
Yeah.
floor to kind of set up your thoughts, what kind of sparked this idea, and then we'll kind of discuss for a bit.
I mean, there wasn't one individual spark. Honestly, I've seen this time and time again since I even want to say preseason. But I think that the conversation I want to revolves around social media presences as well as sportsmanship and sort of camaraderie in the league. Oftentimes nowadays, especially after a tough beat or even a win, you'll have someone from the winning team saying, "Great games, Taimu played lights out," or "Good games, can't wait till next time. Like we'll get you next time." Or it just seems to me like these guys are fierce competitors during the game, and then as soon as it's over, they kind of realize that they are in an echelon of gamer that's trying to start something new, and they are all one and the same. But it just seems to me like it provides a good sort of antithesis to what people think of the gaming community. A lot of outsiders have this idea, this toxicity, and kids and adults alike, I guess, swearing at each other, and you're that on Xbox Live headsets. And I just think that when you turn your Twitter on, and if your parents are looking over your shoulder and they see someone from Dallas saying like tough loss today, but we're gonna get them next time. I'll play better. We need to play as better as a team. Or great victory, but hats off to the Florida Mayhem for putting up a good fight on stage 2, or Maniton played lights out today, but good games to him, even though we came through with the victory. That type of stuff is like, that's what Chappie's all about.
Yeah.
I love that type of stuff. I'm a big fan. I'm kind of one of those, like, I don't really mind losing personally all that much. It doesn't bother me. I don't yell and scream and throw stuff when I lose. And I think that if everyone's having fun, that's the point. If I'm shot calling in a competitive match, I'm usually saying stuff that's more along the lines of like, "Good job, everyone. Like, okay, like not a big deal, regroup, everyone come back, like let's take a breath, like good fight, good fight. I'm not a big fan of like, what were you doing, like what was that
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff. And so I think that all of this is like good for the league and just sort of good for me. I just enjoy seeing it. I think that there could be a lot more negativity and a lot more like, we wiped the floor with Florida today, or like Shanghai sucks and we like, why are they even in this league, we shouldn't have been playing with that team today. That like, that's stuff you don't see, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's unexpected from outsiders, like I said earlier, and I just love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think worth talking about.
No, and look, sportsmanship is so key. Look, you see it at the end of the matches in the Overwatch League. They go across, they shake hands, very formal. They only really do that in hockey. Sometimes you see it in soccer. They'll go across and shake hands, and I mean, like in basketball, but look, it's getting more rare to see that in sports. When they have the opportunity to not do it, it's more likely they'll just walk right off the court or the field and not even approach it. So it is a breath of fresh air to see that. Now, I will say it would be nice to have a little bit of smack talk. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be malicious or violent. Competitive talk it is probably what I'd fall more under than smack talk. But being able to inject some rivalry, some personality, some tension to like build the drama off the court. The drama. And I think that's what the NBA does really well, is that they allow that drama to kind of build those rivalries to bud, the heads to clash, and things like that. And then they not exploit, but they use it on air essentially to their benefit. They show these matches.
Right.
They build up the drama, and then they're like, guess what? The matchup coming next week. You can watch it right here. So people are excited. It reflects in the ratings. If you look at the NBA ratings, they're absolutely going up. They're one of, if not the fastest growing league in the world. So, yeah, I just think I'd like to have a little bit more of that competitive nature and talk expressed as well. But I would say that if I had to choose between it sacrificing a lot of that sportsmanship, that let's maybe have a couple more years of sportsmanship before we let's get some more teams
before we go there.
Before we get into the smack talk. Let's get some more teams, a little bit more competitive balance, maybe not so much disparity between a New York NYXL and a Shanghai Dragons. Maybe the rosters balance out a little bit. So stuff like that, I think going forward will be excellent to look at. And I think you hit it right on the head that this is just it's so great to see. And for people like us who have been in and around the industry, it's great. And then you mentioned it, parents, they're so important, and kids are so important to esports because they're what's pushing this thing forward. They're the next generation. That's what all this anticipation is for when these people become adults and they've been watching, Twitch channels and streams their whole life instead of traditional sports.
Yeah.
So they're more familiar with a ninja than they may be, with the casual football player, than a JJ Watt maybe. So,
right.
I think it's great for the parents. You know what I mean? They can lean into this. They don't have to worry about it being something that's toxic and worrying about their kids being exposed to it and being in this world. So I think from that aspect as well, it's fantastic. And I think going forward, we're going to see a really cool mix of not only just sportsmanship, but then a new style of competitive smack talk.
Yeah, I guess I agree. I think that a certain amount of smack talk is necessary for creating drama and giving people a reason to watch. That's kind of like you said, the NBA. Like that's kind of one of the differences between the NBA and the NFL, right? Is like in the NFL they smack talk each other, but it's like in the scrum on the field, for lack of a better term. It's like through the helmet. They're not like, it's not very painfully obvious that they're throwing a little bit of verbiage at each other. Right. You might catch clips, the next day where ESPN has clipped something out and caught someone saying a little something, but you don't see it during the game. I guess my question to you is, how do you envision that looking? Are you going like, would you open up? I actually don't know if global chat is open to them when they're playing a game. I'm not sure if you have any comment on that. Like when two Overwatch League teams are playing, if
I believe they
chatting.
do. I believe they do. I thought I saw something earlier this season where they said like GLHF or something like that at the start of a match.
Yeah.
And they were saying it back to each other.
Because I doubt that there's a situation or a future in which they're going to let us see everything that's being said.
Correct. Yeah.
But now that my cogs are turning, it's like maybe if you're paying for that Overwatch League All Access pass, you can turn that on.
I know this may be a weird example, but like the NBA 2K League, you see the guys, they're sitting across from each other, and you'll see them kind of stand up and point and celebrate and react across to each other as well as to their teammates. So maybe it's, we have the stage right now where they're looking back out onto the audience. Maybe we tilt it a little bit more. Maybe it's just a little bit of making them actually angled in towards each other so they can look almost directly at each other. If something were to happen, then you have that indirect, non-spoken communication, right? You can see, even if you can't tell what they're saying, if he stands up and he's pointing across at the other team, you know something competitive is going on between the two teams, right? So, and look, and for Blizzard, on the flip side, they can control it, and they're very specific about the language associated with this league, as they should be, with all the new sponsors they're trying to get and attract. So it's another thing that they're able to control and also make it a little bit more real. So it's not like this sort of futuristic, kind of crazy future world that it just has a dictator. So that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing, hopefully in the future. Will it get there? Again, that's why we're here. That's why we're talking about it. We don't know. That's just, again, my educated sort of opinion and being around sports and traditional sports and what I think will happen here.
Yeah, I think that it's just going to be fun to see how it evolves as we go forward, and we just kind of got to let it happen.
Yep. All right. I think it's time for everyone's
favorite part of the show.
My gosh. People have been waiting. They're like, get over this 20 minutes. Sportsmanship, who cares? Preview, I don't care. I want to know about your guys' week. I don't care about anything but Taylor and Chappie. So you're the man who starts it off. Why don't you lead us? Are we starting fall downs or one-ups?
Let's do fall downs.
Okay.
My fall down is a thinly veiled one-up.
Oh.
We made a friend a few weeks ago on Xbox Live. Killer accent. His name's Andrew. We've nicknamed him British Andrew because he has a killer accent. And I thought for sure I would have gotten to play another game with Andrew by now, but I haven't. So he did say he was going to give the podcast a listen. So Andrew, if you're out there, if you're listening, we want to play with you some more. We've been 5-man in it. We need a 6th.
We want to party with you.
Yeah, get on Xbox Live, man. We miss you.
And
we miss you.
For me, mine's outside of the Overwatch realm for this weekend, and it's the Pokemon Quest that they released yesterday. The Minecraft block art style Pokemon game, which is a free to start game. And
free to start.
Yes, and it's something. It is definitely something. Now we got the Pokemon, the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Little closer, little warmer. Still not where we want it. Not that core RPG. Some of us want, an HD remastering of some of the older games. Maybe they go back to red, blue, and yellow, and maybe do some sort of HD remodel or remaster for that, alongside the next release of the core game. But there is a core game coming in 2019. I'm assuming with new Pokemon and things like that. But I'm in it. I'm in it for the
5,000 existing Pokemon, and then another 200 on top, or whatever it is.
Yeah. So. Just interesting things coming from Pokemon. Not necessarily the things I'm looking for, but we'll see. Who knows if it'll spark up that Pokemon Go craze. We saw some people playing the other day when I drove you home.
They were raiding hard. Yeah. Forgot about that.
So, and then...
I'll probably go out and catch a few Pokemon between now and the release of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, but... Yeah, I went from sheer tears of joy excitement to pretty severe letdown yesterday when I realized some of the details. I'm thinking about starting a petition to Nintendo, just being like, dudes, please just let us
and gals, dudes and gals.
Yeah, so I say dudes as a unisex term.
Yeah.
I think girls can be dudes, so that's just my thing. Anyway, like let us have random encounters and stuff. Like don't give me Kanto, which for those uninformed, Kanto would be like the original region, the original 151. Don't give me that game and then make me go walk around with the Pokeball attached to my hip in order to like train my Pokemon up.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Give us the option. It like I don't like saying, I don't like speaking for developers and saying like it's not that hard because I don't really know exactly how hard it is, but it just seems like you've had the ability to do that since what did the original Pokemon Red come out? Like the year 1996 or 97,
Right.
something like that. It's like you've been able to do it since then. I'm pretty sure that with a little bit of effort you could incorporate it here.
Right.
And maybe it's just a checkbox. Like maybe you just turn random encounters off. I don't know.
Yep.
Just feels like they were like, hey, we're finally giving you like 90s kids what you want, and then it just really wasn't that.
Yep.
And that's just a bummer to me.
Yep, I agree. So we'll end on a positive note. We don't want to end on a negative note. What's your one-up for the week?
My one-up for the week has nothing to do with video games. In fact, my one-up for the week is about someone who doesn't play any video games that aren't named Red Dead Redemption. One of my best friends, the guy I've known the longest in the entire world, got engaged in Italy 2 days ago. So my one-up goes to him. I'm very happy for him. He planned it for a really long time. He found himself a really good girl who I really like, really enjoy spending time with them. My wife gets along with Ben and Emily really well too. So huge congratulations to you guys. They don't even listen to the podcast, so they probably won't hear this, but I just can't give my one-up anywhere else. There's nowhere else it deserves to be except with those two right now. So if you are catching any sort of psychic waves, you guys enjoy the after engagement glow. Taylor and I both know how good that feeling is. So I'm just a very happy friend right now.
Nice.
It's a good time.
Yeah, congrats to them. And I'll give ours. Yesterday we were playing some competitive matches, just a couple of guys horsing around, and we came across this one. We were 5 of us. We came across this one person, Arrow Luke. Was his screen name, and one of our people said, wouldn't it be just the best and or worst if he picked Hanzo right here? We didn't know he was already...
His name had Arrow in it.
Yeah. We didn't know they were already in team chat, and they picked Hanzo almost instantly right after finishing hearing that, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen and heard in the game so far. So touche to Arrow Luke, and then I'll give a one-up to the merchandise orders going out now. People starting to get their merch. So if you do get any TJC merch, which you can get on redbubble.com, or we'll put it on our website, which will be out soon, you can go ahead and order some merch. Let us see what it looks like. Post a picture online. We'll retweet it. And we've already seen some, let's see, we got some t-shirts. We got some mugs. We got some spiral notebooks going out. So you got a lot of cool stuff.
Hold on. Tell them what they really want to hear, and that is the throw pillows.
Yeah.
The people want the throw pillows.
Right. The pillow is the hottest item. I mean, they're selling so fast.
Yeah.
So if you want the pillow, make sure you go.
We're using the proceeds to put towards some like more deliberate gear.
Yep.
So we're gonna have some stuff coming soon that'll be like really, really nice and planned, as opposed to just sort of like slap our logo on something. So you're not making Taylor and I rich if you buy some stuff. You're just kind of helping us to get some leave behinds for BlizzCon, and you're gonna really be like sort of investing in us and helping us grow the show by buying something. So
and if not, we're still
get
gonna
up on there and get yourself a throw pillow.
Yeah, if not, we're still gonna do it. So stop us.
Yeah, we're still gonna do it.
Yep. And that's gonna do it. Great episode. Great matches later today. We got to get this up because you guys got to get watching if you want to stay current in the Overwatch League. So on behalf of Chappie at TJC_Chappie on Twitter and myself at Taylor710ESPN, big thank you to tuning in. If you're watching this, thanks for watching for the first time. Let us know what it looked like, what we should change. If you are a graphic designer and want to build a Twitch layout for us, by all means, go ahead and do that because we're pretty janky right now. But
hey,
it works.
It's good. Fine.
It works.
We're fine.
So until we talk,
if you're bored, we'll take it, but we don't need it.
Yeah,
we're fine.
If you're bored, just don't tell us actually. So because you only have a few more seconds of this episode. Because until we meet again,
GG.
GG.